rest of us. Okay, so let's say hi to a few more people. Well, thank you for your kind words there. Oh, Francis, hello. You like how I started? I feel like I repeat myself a lot, but that's okay. Mohammed, that's so sweet of you. Oh, geez, everybody, welcome, welcome. Let me see if there's anything in the Q&A. We have Mike Mudd saying hello from Dayton, Ohio. Best of health and success. And Adama, okay, that's good. So I think we're going to get started in a few minutes. I just want to welcome everybody. Again, I'll repeat one quick time and then we're going to get started. My name is Susie McCrae, coming to you from Amherst, Massachusetts in the United States. I'm a founding member of Onpassive. The people on the screen are also founders. You may see some people in the chat that are also founders. And we also have guests visiting today and would like to welcome you to this public webinar where you're going to learn about a business, and we have the feeling you're going to catch the vision like the rest of us and jump on board. The people you see on the screen are the panelists. You're going to get a review of the business, and after that, we're going to open up to Q&A. Today's Q&A are for our guests. Guest only. If you are a current founder and you just joined us a few days ago and you have a question, of course, but those of you who have been founders, we have another webinar for that Q&A. So today is a special treatment for our guests who are here to learn about the business. Okay, so sit back, relax, enjoy, and don't be concerned if you've never been online or you've know nothing about what an online business entails. That's the beauty of Onpassive. Onpassive was designed for everyone. Every one of us. Okay, so a few more minutes and we're going to get started in about 2 minutes. I see everyone's getting themselves ready. What I love about these webinars, I don't know if any of you have been to other webinars where you get all excited about something, you go somewhere and you're like, are you kidding me? And people are trying to sell you something and they're trying to upsell you to this, that. They're kind of putting a little fear into you that you better do this. If not, you'll never get this chance again, with a big timer counting down. Well, that's not what we're about, because quite frankly, we don't have to do that. We are here to share with you about a business called Onpassive. And you're going to learn more about it in the next minutes or so. And then afterwards, if you have any questions, we're here to answer your questions. And you need to get back to the person who invited you, because we truly believe once you hear what you're going to hear today, you're going to want to jump on board and become a founding member. You're going to catch the vision, get back to the person who invited you. So I'm going to introduce our first person. I believe we're going to have Marty DeGarmo. Marty DeGarmo comes to us from New Jersey in the United States. Marty was a project manager in the business world for over 17 years. And for the past 15 plus years or so, he has done marketing online. He understands the business. He understands a lot of what's been out there and has tried a lot of different things. He has wonderful wisdom and insight that he is going to share with you. And then we'll get into the presentation. So everyone, have a good time. And we'll be back for Q&A after the presentation. Okay, Marty, it's all yours.
Thank you, Susie. As always, great job, and I'll pay you later for the extra benefit.
What, $1?
Yeah, $1. You got $1 coming at least.
Woohoo!
No more than that.
No more than that.
Yeah, no more than that. I owe Red 50 cents.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. We're going to introduce to you a business that you'll see by the end that it's not quite like anything you've ever seen. A little about myself. I'm 61 years old, a little overweight. Just kidding. but I've been online for 17 years this year, which I can't believe it. And I wanted to make money online somehow. I saw other people doing it. I said, oh, it must be easy. I was wrong. It wasn't that easy. And I found out after jumping from one thing to another, the same as many of you, if you've been in longer than a month, is sometimes the company doesn't do what they promise, or you have to buy so much stuff in order to even qualify to even start to make anything. And you have to recruit. And all of that takes skills, no matter what anybody tells you. There's a guy telling you on a tape or a video, follow me and I will make you, you could duplicate what I'm doing, is absolutely not true. You have to either have all the hours and years of experience or you're dead in the water. That's just fact. It just is. And a lot of people jump around thinking, oh, I could do it. Why is it always the same 3% that walk across stage with a big check? They got a large list. They do understand how to do it. And 97, 98% of the people don't. And that's what they feed off of. I didn't like it, don't like it. And I thought I did that long enough. And then I met Mike Ellis and Dan Street here. And together we've grown really large teams. The problem was, you can build a team in a company. You hope it's legit. You look for all the right things. And you build a team, and either the company disappears, or every night when you go to bed, you go, man, I hope it's there tomorrow, which is not a warm feeling. Or how do I duplicate what I'm doing? So we would make mini systems for everybody to try to help them. It's impossible. You have to have the money. You have to have, it's just impossible. You can help maybe 5, 10 people, and the rest of the people just dwindle off. It's not fair. So, you know, people say, well, you got to learn how to bring people in. You got to have a big why. You got to have a dream. Listen, what you got to have is make money. All right, bottom line, if you're not making money and you're spending money to make money and you're not making any money, that's crazy. You actually lose money every month. I was in business where people were bragging that they broke even. I don't know about you. I don't know anybody wants to go online and break even. And that's after a lot of work. They break even, then they finally quit. Why? Because they can't afford to break even anymore. Okay. But that went on a long time. And don't feel like you're the only one going through this. Everybody on the screen went through it. Guarantee it. I know some of them did. I know all of them did, actually. A couple years ago, I'm going to make this quick. Try to, but I'm a babbler because I'm very excited about the business. A couple years ago, I just between Mike and Dan, I just said, you know, we got to do something. There's got to be a business out there that just makes it even for everybody. No special treatment, but even. Everybody can succeed. And I'm thinking it was a fairy tale, right? But I started looking around, and I wasn't looking. When I'm in a business, I'm dedicated to that business until it folds or I don't make money or the people with me don't make money, which is at least 60 days. I ran into Red Redford here and his friend Peter Rogers. And I said, what are you guys doing? I knew them from another business. I don't go to anybody just for a real, I trusted them. I went to them. They didn't come to me. I said, what are you doing? They told me about this business. I went, really? Well, let me ask you a question. Can you make money? Yeah, unlimited. Can we bring people in that are just average people working 40, 60 hours a week? Maybe a single mom, single father. Can they make money? Yes. Do I have to buy a bunch of stuff, a quota to even break even? No quotas, no nothing. No auto ship. Okay, look, after all the business I've been in, I'm sold, right? I didn't have to know every detail at that point. I knew enough it's worth getting in. Needless to say, we got in, really happy what I saw, found out it's even better than I thought it was. And I don't market this business. I mean, we do, but mainly I share it. Why? I know now, looking eye to eye with the person, anybody here, if I invited you to this or shared it with you, I can look at you and honestly know you're going to be successful. First time in 17 years. And it's because of the business. It's because of this business. It's because of the owner. Well, anyway, they're going to go over all that, people that can do it much better than me, and they're focused and they have, a plan. So I'm going to turn it over to Charles Osong. Super many years. He's retired from IT. He's done everything in IT. I think he has 30 years experience on and offline, which I know it's hard to believe because he looks like he's 35. So I don't know how he did it, but he has the experience, and he's going to break down parts of the business so you can understand what we're getting into. And then Mike Ellis will follow him. Charles Osong, let him know what's up.
Thank you so very much, Maddie. I always say it's a pleasure to hang around great minds like you, humble to be working together as a team. And I know you've said it all, most of the things that I'm going to start off with, you've told them. You just told them in different ways. So all of us who are here, we've had that same experience. I want to say good afternoon, good evening to our founders who are coming back, and especially to our guests who are here for the first time. And I know you are here to hear about a once-in-a-lifetime kind of opportunity. I will do my best to bring this daunting task to you. And the way I do that is I tell you my story. It's not going to be my full story. I'm just going to give you the ones that you need to hear today, the reasons why I decided to be part of this business. Hopefully, you can resonate with me. Now, like Maddie just said, I've been in IT for decades. I've also been in business, online, offline, sideline for decades, right? And so it's easier for me to count what I've not done than to count what I have done, right? So now, as an IT professional, I've always looked for other ways to make money because what I had was just a job, J-O-B. We say the acronym for that is just over broke. Because by the time you pay your bills, I don't care what kind of job you do, you barely have enough to do extra things, right? So I ran into a book, some works by Mr. Warren Buffett, long time ago. He's one of the wealthiest people on earth. And he said, if you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you will work until you die. So I've been always looking for ways to make money in my sleep. So I decided to retire from my corporate America job. Now I recall a colleague of mine looking at me and saying, Charles, you must be very fortunate. You must have saved up a lot of money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, on the contrary, I have been working for so long, but can't seem to save up the kind of money that I would love to. So there's got to be a better way. I remember Robert Einstein saying, you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That is his definition of insanity. And I resonated with him. I agreed with him 100%. So I decided to stop working, got myself an office in Maryland, here in the United States. And just over 2 years ago, a trusted friend of mine walked into my office and was talking to me about this same opportunity. He said, Charles, I want to talk to you about an opportunity that I think you will like. And just so you know, prior to retiring, I had been studying rigorously the behavioral patterns of successful people. And one of them is simple. You bring an opportunity to them. They look at it inside out, and then they make an informed decision. So I pretended to be one of them that day. And I told my friend, yes, I will take a look at it. But first, I have 3 prerequisites, 3 of them, simple. Give me the satisfactory answer, I'm in it. Number 1, with this opportunity, will I have to recruit to make money? If I don't sell to even one person, am I still gonna make money? And when I say money, I mean real money, enough money to give me financial freedom. As I just told you, I had time freedom because I was retired. But I was looking for that financial freedom so that together I can have what we call total freedom, very elusive, but I was looking for it. So I asked my friend that day, if I cannot recruit even one person, because I'm a regular human being, 98% of us don't know how to recruit. Am I gonna be able to make that kind of money? And he said to me, Charles, you will. You will make enough to leave a legacy for your children, your children's children, and beyond. That sounded like music to my ears. I felt like break dancing, but I controlled myself. I said, let's go to question number 2. Am I going to have to come out of pocket every month, month in, month out? In the industry, they call it ownership. Will I have to pay a monthly ownership? He said, Charles, when this company launches, you will come out of pocket once, and that's it. After that, money is a one-way traffic from this company to your bank account. I said, great. Let's go to the third, the last question, but certainly not the least. Does this company have legitimate, viable products? By legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary. Something that mankind needs, you and I, we need every day. If we don't have it, life is almost unbearable, just like your cell phone, the internet service. Does this company have that? My friends, this is for sustainability. A company doesn't have that, viable products, you can forget it. It is a time bomb. So when I asked my friend, he said, Charles, you have an extensive IT background. You should be able to understand these products better than me. So I went and took a look at the products, came back to him, and I said, my friend, should this company succeed in what they're trying to do, we're going to have an internet quake. We're going to have a shake-up of the internet. But we're going to have to wait a little bit, 4 years, maybe more. He didn't like that. He said to me, Charles, why would you say that? I said, it's simple. You told me to take a look at the products. I did. And I understand what they're doing. They're using artificial intelligence, AI for short, in every step of the development process. AI, my friends, is a disruptive technology. And what is that? That is just a technology that comes around every once in a while and will change the way we do things. It will disrupt our lives, in other words. So AI is yet the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known. But AI is very involved. It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding. So for those of you who are familiar with software development, you will understand why I said we need to fasten our seatbelts, buckle up, and then enjoy that roller coaster. So now, I told you guys we have legitimate, viable products. What are those? What are those products we're talking about? Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you guys what separates Onpassive from any other business out there, period. It's called traffic. Traffic generation. So what is traffic? Let's spend a couple minutes talking about traffic. Traffic, my friends, is a fundamental element of every business. It doesn't matter whether that business is offline or online. Okay? But I know most of us have an age. We're more used to offline businesses. So let's start with the offline part of it. Let's say you have a business offline and I have the same business. And it can be any business. It can be a car dealership, a hair salon, whatever it is. But let's just say it is a restaurant. And I just use that because I love food and I know each and every one of us, we eat, okay? So you have a restaurant and I have a restaurant. Same kind of restaurant, same kind of food, same chef. Everything is the same, except what? Location. Your restaurant is located in a busy area, shopping mall. People come in and out all the time. Mine is hidden. Well, yours fares better than mine, and here's why. People are gonna come to this shopping mall, minding their own business, to do their hair, do their nails, buy some clothes, window shopping, whatever it is that brings them to this shopping mall. Eventually, they will get hungry. Look up, spot your restaurant, wander into your restaurant, and the end result of that is what? Sales. Mine, on the other hand, is going to suffer because they need to leave their homes deliberately to go there. They need to know that it is there. So it suffers from what? Traffic. So what is traffic then? People, customers coming in and out of your business. That's it. Now, what about traffic online? But before I go there, I just want to say this. In this day and age, if you have that offline business like the restaurant, please get yourself an online presence. Else, you're going to be smoked by your competition. The reverse is not true though, because you can have a very successful business online with no offline representation. Typical example, Amazon. So what am I saying? I'm saying, yes, we do have millions upon millions of businesses offline, but we have even more online, billions of them. And all of them thrive on traffic. So what is online traffic? Simple, clicks. If you have a business online, the first thing that needs to happen for you to make a sale, someone has to click, right? No clicks, no sales. The more the clicks, the more the sales. So we have businesses, individuals, people online. They make money just by driving traffic to those billions of businesses I just told you about. Typical example, Google. And then there is something we call targeted traffic. Huge. What is targeted traffic? Say you go online searching for a TV and somebody comes around and whispers on your ear, why don't you go to charlesoson.com? The moment you go there, all you see is TVs, all sizes, all colors, all shapes, all prices. Chances of you buying, very high. Now that's targeted traffic. And our CEO and founder of this company, Mr. Ash Mofara, he's the best in the game of driving targeted traffic. He graduated with a master's in e-commerce, information technology, went back to Harvard, did some more studies on internet marketing, and the guy is the best in that game. He proved himself. When he graduated, he joined a few companies, drove traffic to them. He was involved with these companies, drove a lot of traffic. Yes, he made some millions. These companies made tons of money too. But guess what? Most of them went out of business. Why? I told you guys earlier, legitimate, viable services absent, you are a time bomb. Now, like I said, this traffic is our bread and butter. It is what separates Onpassive from every other company out there. It is what enables you and I to dream. Now, these guys are going to sit down just about 3 years ago, Ash Mofara and his friends, and they said to themselves, we're going to have legitimate, viable digital services online. We have about 7.7 billion people on Earth. At any point in time, about 7 million of those people are online looking for some kind of services. What are these services? Well, some of us online, we do online banking. I love it. I do that all the time, sometimes twice a day. And I know a bunch of you do that too. And when we do these things, there are people that monetize on our services. So these guys are going to say, hey, with artificial intelligence at the back of our hands, we can do that too. Yes, some people online doing what we call e-commerce, drop shipping, email marketing, bulk emailing. There are people online making 6- and 7-figure income just doing email marketing. And these guys are going to say, we can do that too, even better with AI. Some of us online, we are on our favorite social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I love Facebook. But when we are on Facebook, what are we doing? We're sending texts, photos to friends, family members, colleagues, classmates. Well, that is called community. That's the product of Facebook. And these guys are going to say, you know what? With AI, we can have a better community. And as you come to join Onpassive, you're going to find out our community is already over 650,000 strong and increasing by the second. Well, some of those online, we're doing what? Video conferencing, just like you and I. So if you can see me, or you can hear me, or both, it means you went to Zoom, put in some ID, and there you are. Well, guess what? The owners, the founders of Zoom, they are monetizing on our services as we speak. And Zoom is not the only one. We have Cisco WebEx, Google Hangouts, Skype, Microsoft Teams, a bunch of them, a plethora of them, all of them making serious money, especially since the advent of COVID-19. But guess what? Wait until Onpassive unleashes its webinar platform. All of those I just mentioned are going to look like a joke. The pictures are clearer, 3D. It is much more secure, end-to-end encrypted, faster, more scalable, and above all, guess what? Cheaper. So my friends, I can assure you, when Onpassive launches, the big players in this space like Zoom, yes, they're going to know there's a new sheriff in town. Yes. Let's talk about another service, virtual private network, VPN. What is it? It's a fancy name. Fancy name for what? For a tunnel. It's a tunnel that cuts across a major network, such as the internet, provides for security, privacy. Employers use it so that their employees can have access to corporate data without fear of bad guys, without fear of hackers. Ever since the advent of COVID-19, everybody wants their employees to work from home. Microsoft, Facebook, even the federal government, all of them. So VPN, virtual private service network, it's getting big. And these guys with AI, yes, we're going to have our own. Super, super smart, more secure, more scalable, and above all, guess what? Cheaper, AI driven. When we launch, the big players in this space, like Cisco Networks, they are going to know there's a new kid on the block. Yes, you can count on that. Let's talk about another service. Search engine optimization, SEO. Sounds like a mouthful. Yes, it is a mouthful. We know of search engines. We know of Yahoo, Bing, Safari, Google. Google is not like a verb. And these guys are making billions from all of us. What do? Google says, you advertise something through us and the customer comes looking for it. We are going to optimize our search, bring it to the top, right? So that they can see it. Once they see it, our job is done and they're going to charge us monthly, whether they buy or they don't buy. That's how come Google is a multi-billion-dollar company. And these guys at Onpassive, they're going to say, you know what? With AI, we're going to have our own. Super, super smart. AI driven from start to finish. By the time you type the first character, it already knows where you are headed. My friends, there are services out there, domain name service. I pay for a service. I pay a company called GoDaddy for domain name service. Well, guess what? These guys with AI, we're going to have our own DNS. So what am I doing, guys? I'm just giving you a few of the services. Mike Ellis is going to come up and give you a couple more. A few of the services that we can relate to on a daily basis, we're using them. We may or may not know how to monetize on these things. Onpassive is going to help us monetize. What is Onpassive doing? Onpassive says, simple. If you are an individual, you're a business person, small or large, and you need the services, we got it for you. All in one place, under one umbrella. In IT, we call it single sign-on. And here's a big word for you today, integrated. No company has ever done it before. Onpassive is the first ever, and we are 99% there. My friend, this is value. I told you guys earlier, you don't have to recruit to make money. You don't have to come out of pocket every month to pay some bill. And above all, we have legitimate, viable digital services. You are going to be hard pressed to find all three of these in one place. And if you do, please let me know. I will be your first customer. Okay, now let me say this. I am going to bring up one of our finest, Mike Ellis, in the company. He's been in business for decades. online and offline. He's been online for more than 15 years. He's an expert in YouTube. He understands his business inside out. And he's going to give you some basic concepts that make our company, Onpassive, unique in the marketplace. Mike, go ahead, take it over.
Yeah, no, thanks, Charles. And I appreciate the introduction. You know, between Marty and Charles, they really have gone over everything in Onpassive. They really have. And what I'd like to do is just kind of put the pieces together a little bit so that you can see what Onpassive can do for you. And really, that's all that's important on this meeting today for our new people. What can Onpassive do for you? And how can you develop wealth online? And Marty and Charles did a great job of going over Onpassive. But let's put some of those pieces together and give you a really, really clear picture how it's going to work for you. Before I go there, I want to start with Ash Mufareh, and then I'll finish with Ash Mufareh. Ash Mufareh, he's done some extraordinary things for you and I with Onpassive. The way he has structured Onpassive, the way the pay plan is structured, the way it works for us, really extraordinary what Ash has done for us. But one of the things that he's done that just blows me away every time I hear it. Ash Mufareh, as he came on and started to develop Onpassive, his goal was to give the majority of the wealth away to those individuals that are participating with Onpassive. That's myself and hopefully you by the end of this meeting. That is so unique. It's never been done before in the history of business, online, offline. Most of the time, these companies will come in, they'll make a ton of money, and they keep the wealth for themselves. That is not Ash Mufareh. He has a heart to serve. He wants to share the wealth with us. So how is this beautiful picture going to work for you? I really want to start by talking about some of the concepts that Ash Mufareh has given us. And Onpassive, understand, it is a massive machine right now. It has a lot of moving parts. But Ash has made it very, very simple for us to understand how we're going to develop wealth online. And the first thing Ash talked about was a self-funding business. And Charles has talked about this. As you come in, you will go out of pocket once. You will never have to go out of pocket again. Absolutely love that. And I know most businesses, when you come in and you start to pay, there is a monthly fee. I don't have a problem with that. That is the cost of doing business. But with Onpassive, you'll pay it once and you'll never have to go out of business again. Most businesses, when you get into them, you're just not making enough revenue to take care of your monthly bills, much less your personal needs. And most people just quit. That is not Onpassive. You will come in, you will pay once, you will never go out of pocket again. The next concept that Ash talked to us about, it's a concept that everybody loves. It really intrigues them. Not quite sure what it is, but it's one of those things that when you think about it, you go, I want that. And the concept is forced success. And all this means is Onpassive is going to force you to build wealth online. Not only are they going to force you to take care of that monthly income that you need, they're going to take it a step further and they're going to force you to build wealth, to get into that position that Charles talked about, where you're making money while you're sleeping. Onpassive is going to guarantee you will make money. And those are some pretty lofty words that I've just thrown out there. But as you understand the structure of Onpassive, what Ash Mufareh has done, how it works for you, all of a sudden that light is just going to go off and you're going to go, oh, I am in the right place at the right time. So for success is just building wealth online, and Passive is going to guarantee that you will do that. How are they going to do that? That takes me to product and customer. You have to understand the product side and the customer side to understand how they're going to help you build wealth. As we look at the product side, Onpassive is an AI IT company, artificial intelligence, informational technology company. The tools of Onpassive have been built by Ash's tech team in Hyderabad, India, and these people are absolutely brilliant. And the tools of Onpassive are built from the ground up, the proprietary, cutting edge technology, brand new technology, superior, and get this last one, at a lower price point. Just with that alone, I would be in Onpassive. If you can do that online using AI, it's just a win-win for everybody. So the products of Onpassive, absolutely superior at a lower price point. And then we go over to the customer side, and that's why the customers are going to be flocking into Onpassive. And our customers will be K through 12, colleges, small, medium, large size businesses, governments, and personal use. They will be all of those. Our market today is about 4.6 billion people, and there will be something in Onpassive for every one of those. Really important that you understand volume, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But 4.6 billion people, it's a lot of volume. So as product and customers get together, how is Onpassive going to build your team for you? Onpassive is going to go into the product side of Onpassive. They're going to pull out the tools in the automated marketing platform, has all the tools we need to market online. And Onpassive is going to build a marketing platform for you, period, flat out, just for you. And then they're going to hook it up to AI. Now, this next thing is really important, really important. As they do that, as they build you a marketing platform, 100% automated, they're going to hook it up to AI, and then it's 100% automated. I put that in a little early, but 100% automated is what you want to really understand about Onpassive. You're coming in, you're putting Onpassive to work for you. They're building a marketing platform for you. They're hooking it up to AI, and now they're going to run traffic through it. And the traffic that they run through it is going to be massive. And Charles talked about traffic a little bit, and he's absolutely right. Ash is better than anybody I've ever seen online driving traffic, and I mean massive traffic. The group on this panel, we've all driven traffic at one time or another. Marty, Dan, and I were pretty good at it, but when we saw what Ash Mufareh was going to be doing, it was just extraordinary. We had never seen anything like that, and it really put us to shame. But that's why we're in Onpassive, because Ash and his team are so good at what they do. And we're in his team, we're in Onpassive to benefit from everything they do, everything Onpassive does. If you keep it very simple, self-funding for success, product, customer, and then add volume to it, you're going to understand what Ash is doing and how he's going to help you develop wealth online. And this thing works better than you've ever seen. And I'll get into that just a little bit before I get off. So as we look at Onpassive, how do we all come into Onpassive right now? Okay. Onpassive today, there's a position, it's called the founding position. It is a $97 position today. You come in, you pay the $97. It locks you into the company of Onpassive. It locks you into the pay structure of Onpassive. That second part, really important. As we look at the founding position, it has tremendous value. As we go into the soft launch, right now we are in the pre-launch of Onpassive. But as we go into the soft launch, Onpassive is actually going to start building your team. When they do that, every time they add someone to your team, it adds another stream of revenue. That's a really important thing because it gets you to that place where you replace that income you want to replace very quickly. Onpassive is going to start doing that for us in the soft launch. There are many other benefits of becoming a founding member. For me, that's the most important because it shows you how your business is going to build very quickly. But there are bonuses or other things as a founding member we're getting that have such great value. And Charles talked about value. Ash is always giving us value. Becoming a founding member and locking your position in, really important. So we're in pre-launch, we're going into soft launch. The soft launch is a period of time where Ash has shared the products with us, and we actually get in there to use them, see if we can break them. We won't be able to. And from there, we're going to go into the hard launch of Onpassive. As we go into the hard launch of Onpassive, how do we all come into Onpassive? We all come into Onpassive and pay a single membership fee. That fee will be right around $250. This is a monthly fee, but this fee you will pay once, you will never have to go out of pocket again. And the reason for that is because you're going to be able to pay the preceding months with the profits that we'll make with Onpassive. After we do that, we go into the back office, click a button, become independent resellers of the IT products. We have to do that for the regulators and for Ash, so Ash has the ability to pay us. So let's back up to the membership level. This is where it gets really exciting. This is where all this stuff happens. As we pay the membership fee, right around $200, $250, give or take, we get all the products of Onpassive. That's a really cool thing. And the value in that is absolutely out of this world. Whether you use them or not, it doesn't matter. Here's what's going to happen. Onpassive is going to come in. They're going to go into the toolbox and pull out the automated marketing platform. They are going to build your marketing platform. They're going to hook it up to AI. It becomes 100% automated. They're going to drive traffic through it. As people land underneath you, and a certain amount of customers coming in will land underneath you, you will get paid off of that volume. And here's how it works. If you work for a company and did a $100 sale and they paid you 10%, you'd make $10. That's how it works with Onpassive. As these customers come in and buy whatever product it is, it could be any of the products, you're going to get paid off of that volume. But here's really the caveat about this whole system, and it really goes back to traffic and the quality of the products. So Onpassive is literally going to go to work for you, and then they're going to start driving traffic. And I want to talk about two products of Onpassive, just to give you an idea of the sheer volume that's going to be coming in for all of us. One of the products is Ocademy. The other one is OStaff. If we look at Ocademy and OStaff, the amount of revenue that they bring companies that are already in those niches online is about $500 billion a year. That's the amount of revenue that comes in with these two niches. They are absolutely massive, $500 billion a year in revenue. As Onpassive launches to the world and we release just these two products, OStaff and Ocademy. Ocademy is an educational platform. OStaff is an HR platform. People can come in and manage their human resources department with that product. As Onpassive launches these products to the world, because the products are superior at a lower price point, how much of that market will we get? Will it be 20%, 25%, 30%, 40%, 50%? I think Onpassive, because of the superiority of the product, because it's at a lower price point, because it makes the customer job easier, more profitable, just makes their life overall easier. I believe they're going to take a substantial amount of market away from the companies that are already in these niches. And if they take 25%, it's about $125 billion. Onpassive, with just these two niches, is going to be driving so much traffic and bringing in so many customers to the people that are participating with Onpassive, people that are founders of Onpassive and independent resellers of Onpassive. If you are a founder today, as Onpassive launches to the world, I just don't think you're going to have to worry about finances. That's how big a deal this is. Now, when we look at these two products, Ocademy and OStaff, by the end of 1 year with just these two products, Onpassive would be a unicorn company. And that is a company that has a value of over $1 billion, okay? By the way, that's never been done in the history of the world. A company launching and becoming a unicorn company in 1 year. Hasn't happened online, offline. It's never happened in business. That will happen with OStaff and Ocademy. But here's a really, really cool thing. I've talked about two products. Charles talked about a few other products. There are about 51 products right now. As Onpassive launches to the world, when we go into the hard launch, Onpassive will launch as a unicorn company. They will be a company that has a value of over $1 billion. What does that do for you and I as founding members participating with Onpassive and sharing all the wealth with Onpassive? A lot of that money is just going to come to us. That's how powerful what Ash Mufareh has done. And I'm going to finish it up with Ash Mufareh again and talking about what he wants to share with us. As I look at Ash and I've listened to Ash, his goal was to take the 97% that come online and fail and turn that around and make sure 97% of the people coming online succeed and succeed in a very, very big way. Ash is taking 50, 60, 65, 75% of the profits, and he's sharing it with those individuals participating with Onpassive, the founding members. Hopefully you'll be one shortly after this quick Zoom. But that is the heart of Ash Mufareh. Yes, he's going to do very, very well. Yes, Onpassive is going to do very, very well. But one of his main goals was to make sure that everybody that comes in, participates with Onpassive, has a way forward to develop an income, build wealth, and get to that place where they just don't worry about finances. Onpassive today is global. They put no limitations on the amount you can make. And Marty talked about qualifications earlier. There are none. You come in, participate with Onpassive, you're ready to get paid. And then keep in mind AI. Without AI, it's very, very difficult to do anything Onpassive is doing. And they have a tremendous artificial intelligence that they developed from the ground up. And because of that, Onpassive is 100% automated, automated, automated. When you put all this together, it's a win-win, and it's a win-win for you. Come on in, continue to explore Onpassive. You will not be disappointed. And from our experience, we're going to see you on the inside probably pretty quick. I'm going to turn it over to Red. Red is probably one of the largest builders in Onpassive. He's got a terrific team, and he knows the business inside and out. And I always like to turn it over to him because he always catches things I miss. Red, I'm going to turn it over to you for the Q&A, but also if I've missed anything, feel free to fill in the gaps. Go ahead, Red.
Thanks very much, Mike. And what a great presentation from Marty, Charles, and Mike Ellis. Before we go into the Q&A, guys, there's a few things I just want to point out to you. Now, we've heard all about this amazing company. Now, we've heard that all the products and the services, what it's going to do for you to build wealth online. So I know what is on the tip of your tongue right now is, how do I sign up? So we know it's $97, okay, to become a founder. This comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, by the way, guys. And there is a one-time out-of-pocket payment to activate your account of around about $250. And here's a little bit of a snippet for you as well, is that Ashmu Farah has promised that if you do not make that money back within 3 months of us launching, he will refund you. How amazing is that? So how exactly are you going to sign up and become a founder with us on board this amazing opportunity? It's very easy. The person who has invited you here today, get back in contact with them and they will give you a registration form. Fill that out, pay your $97 and you're good to go. And this person will help you along your way. Now, once you've paid that money and you sign into your account, there's going to be a pop-up, and this is going to be a thing called an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. It is quite long. You can read it at your leisure. Pop down to the bottom. You've got 2 check boxes to say that you understand it and you sign it. Now, do not be put off with this, guys. This is a really, really good thing, not a bad thing, because it shows how committed we are to make this company completely legitimate and legal. Okay, that is what you're signing to do, to say that you understand the terms and conditions of us in Onpassive. Now, just before we go to Q&A, I'm going to leave you with a couple of things. Mike Ellis touched on how much of the profit that Ashmu Farah is going to share with us as founders. Just think about this for a moment. Amazon, we all know Amazon. Okay, they are massive. They have produced 40,000 millionaires since they've been going. Okay, just imagine how many millionaires Onpassive will produce, because we actually want you to make money. Amazon don't want you to make any money, do they? But that's how many there has been in Amazon. Okay, we want you to make a lot of it. Right. And the last thing I'm going to say is, what you do today is going to affect your life, your loved ones, and people around you in 2 years' time. So make that decision, guys. Jump on board with us. Okay, we would love to have you as a founder alongside us. It is a fantastic business, full of heart, full of passion, and we are all going in one direction. If I can do it, I am a chef. I'm not a marketer. I'm just a normal person. Okay. If I can do this, any of you people out there can do it as well. It's as simple as that. Jump on board. We'll look after you and you can join this amazing team. Fantastic, guys. Anyway, we're going to move over to the Q&A section now. I'm going to reiterate what Susie said at the beginning. This is our guests webinar. If you are already an existing founder, okay, we have the founders only Q&A with all of us here on a Monday. okay, at 2 p.m., hosted by Charles down here. Okay, this is where you go as a founder to have your questions answered. Okay, so please, if you are a founder, okay, put that hand down and save it for Mondays. If you're a guest, on the other hand, and you've got a question, there's 2 ways of doing it. Okay, you can raise your hand, okay, which is, if you're on a phone, you go to more, raise your hand. If you're on a tablet, laptop, go down to the bottom there, hit participants and raise your hand. And we will bring you on board to ask the question live. If you're shy and you don't want to, we have a Q&A section there. You can write it in there and we will ask it live to this panel. Any of the panelists, okay, that are here, if you want to answer the question, just raise your hand and I'll bring you in to answer that question. Okay, so fingers crossed. Let's see how it all goes. So Marty, you're going to be with me. Let's have a looky. See who's got their hands raised. Susie,
would you like me to bring them in and announce them? Would that be helpful?
That's fantabby-dozy. Do that.
Okay, I want to say something though. Did anyone notice that Red is the only one who doesn't have glasses?
Yeah, I know, right? But I'll tell you something.
Dan just took his off.
You know why, Susie?
He's the only one that doesn't have hair either. So
Charles hasn't got hair. No, do you know something? I used to wear glasses, but I don't wear them anymore. And because I've always been short-sighted, so I've never needed it for reading, and I've only ever needed it for looking away. And because I was in the kitchen all the time, now I'm outside a lot more. My eyes have adjusted, and I don't need them.
I just said
winner.
Well, hello everybody. What great presentations by everyone. You can see why we're so excited. We're here to ask your questions. Now I see a Sterla. Is Sterla part of the panel or is that someone asking a question? They're part of the panel. They're not part of the panel. Marty, you're
asking a question. I started bringing them in before you said you were going to, so.
Well, okay, I'm here to help, so you guys can focus on the Q&A.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Sterla, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask the question, and I'm gonna bring in Herbert next onto the panel. So Sterla, if you have a question, please unmute yourself. Okay. Perhaps Sterla, we can come back to you. I put on Galaxy S8 with the name Herbert next to it. Herbert, you are now on the panel. If you'd like to unmute yourself and ask a question, you have the little microphone. If you want to unmute yourself. Okay, maybe we have some people with their hands up. If you have your hand up and you don't have a question, put your hand down. I'm going to...
And also if you are a founder, put your hand down.
Yes. Okay, so we have Nayaki Aita. I'm bringing you on. Okay, we're cooking with gases, Mike.
Yeah, we do. This is going absolutely fantastic.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, Naoki Ita. I hope I'm saying that correctly. You're on the panel. If you want to unmute yourself and ask a question.
Susie, you keep bringing the wrong people.
I'm bringing in Jesus Batista. You are now in the panel. You had your hand raised. If you want to unmute yourself, I'm bringing in Regina.
There's a couple of questions in the question box. Go ahead and answer that while we're waiting for people to come in.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Hi, Red. Had a couple of guests who were unable to log in and not sure why. Will there be a recording of this made available afterwards? Yes, there will be. That's from G. There will be a recording of this available afterwards. We'll try and put it into the recording section of the back office, and it will also be available on Onpassive Nation and on UK and Ireland as well. Thank you very much for that. Have we got a live panelist yet?
I'm gonna put Tony in. Regina, if you're with us and you want to ask your question, unmute yourself. If not, we'll put you back as an.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh, hi, Tony.
Hey, Tony. Okay,
Hello.
hit us with it.
I have a couple of questions. The first one, where is Onpassive based? Is it a United States-based company?
Okay, just one question at a time then. Any hands raised who want to take this one off the panel? Andy Burks, do you want to take this?
Sure. Yeah, we have. It's a US registered company, so we have an office in Orlando, but our hub of work is actually in Hyderabad, in High Tech City, which is Silicon Valley of India. So there are 700 odd staff in our own office block. You can see it behind Charles and sometimes behind Marty and behind Dan there. It's a 6-story building. We run the lease, or have the lease now, for 9 years. There are 700 staff that work around the clock. So there's 200 odd on each shift.
Thanks very much, Andy. Tony, have you got another question, please?
Please unmute
Yes.
yourself. Okay.
The second question is, I didn't really catch the part where you guys were talking about how much money somebody need to put in. I heard the $97. Is that all? Is that, you know,
Okay,
it's just
I'll
one
put that over
package?
to Mike Ellis.
People will be able
That's
to.
fine. Okay, Tony, Mike Ellis will answer that question for you.
Yeah, Tony, the $97, all it does is it makes you a founder of Onpassive. It's a very powerful position because it locks your position in the company and the pay structure of the company. But that's what the $97 does. The $250 is the monthly fee of Onpassive. That's the fee we'll pay as we come in to become an independent reseller of the IT product. So we'll come into Onpassive, pay the membership fee, become a customer first, and then hit a button and become an independent reseller of the IT product. That $200, again, it is monthly, but you'll only pay it once. The rest of it will be paid from the profits of Onpassive. In other words, the preceding months will be paid from the profits of Onpassive. That's how dynamic it is. So hopefully that answers your question.
Is that all right for you, Tony? Have you got any more questions?
Not quite. I understand what Michael said, but do I need to be online selling something, or I didn't quite get it?
No,
After I pay the $250.
Again, it's 100% automated. We're going to put Onpassive to work for all of us, for each one of us. So when you pay that $250, Onpassive is going to go to work for you. So 100% automated. Keep that in the back of your mind.
So how do I get paid? How the payment will be made?
As customers come in, those customers land underneath you. You get a percentage of what they pay for the products. There'll be a wallet in your back office. The old wallet, will the money will hit there. Whatever's in your old wallet, you can take out and put right in your bank. Simple as that.
And that will be fiat currency?
It'll be any currency you want.
Okay.
I mean, if you're in Japan, it's probably yen. If you're in the United States, it's dollars. If you're in the UK, it's probably euros.
And that payment, when will that start? Do you guys have people getting paid at this time, or you will start at some point?
It'll start at the hard launch, Tony. We're in pre-launch right now. We're going to run into soft launch, and then we'll go right into hard launch.
Okay. Any deadline for the hard launch?
6 years. In other words, we don't know.
Okay, got you.
Well, thank you, Tony. And just to hitchhike on that too, for those of you watching and maybe make it just a little bit clearer, this isn't like normal where people have been into businesses online and they have to manage customers, they have to manage invoices, they have to troubleshoot, they have to help support all of their customers. That's one of the reasons why what I fell in love with Onpassive is it's going to do the work for me. I do not have to be support or customer service or troubleshoot with the customers. The AI, the way Ash has built this company, it's going to take care of all of the customers for us. Okay, so that sometimes is a good way to look at it. You're not going to be managing any of the products or troubleshooting or helping customers. Okay, I brought Chuck in. I'm not sure if you're there, Chuck. If you want to unmute yourself, I'm going to bring Guy in too, who had their hand up. So Chuck, if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question. Mike, you have your hand up, Mike Ellis.
Yeah, I just want to hit this very, very quickly, Susie, because everybody has the same question. When do we launch? When do we launch? Guys, we are in pre-launch right now. Okay, pre-launch is when Ash is releasing all the products to the founding members. We have a chance to review them. We're going to go from pre-launch into soft launch. Soft launch is the time when we come in and we use all the products. From there, we'll go seamlessly into hard launch. Ash has already told us in pre-launch, when he's got 7 or 8 products out there, we will go into the soft launch. When we're in the soft launch, guys, the ball's rolling and we're going to start moving quicker than you can even think of. So pre-launch, soft launch, hard launch, we're there. We can't give you dates right now, but that's what it is. That's it, Susie.
Okay, thank you. We have Guy in, G-E-E, Guy, if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question. And I'm going to bring in Ikpan I believe. I apologize if I'm not getting your name correct as a panelist. I'm also going to bring in David. So Guy, no, going once, going twice. And now we have Ikpan Abazi. I apologize for the way I'm pronouncing your name. If you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, let's go to David. David, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question. Hello, David. I'm going to bring in Swati.
All right.
Oh, there's David.
Hey,
Hello,
David.
David.
David, this is David.
Hi, David. Go
Yeah,
ahead and ask your question. Yes.
Yes, I have a question, but before I go to that, I want to say that this is really, really, really a wonderful development. I have been looking for such an opportunity to create a passive income via online. I needed a system that will be working for me even while I am sleeping. And now I've gotten such system. It's a very wonderful one. And the question is this. After the payment of $97, after this payment, will I start earning on the platform?
Okay, anybody off the panel want to take this one?
Yeah, I'll take it. Hi. Hello,
on then,
David. Hi. Hello, Africa. Hello, world. Great to be here. David, you are absolutely correct. This is a phenomenal opportunity that we've all been looking for our whole lives, actually. When you come in as a founder, going forward, you must remember we are going to be the hunted. We don't have to go and hunt for anything because people looking for any of our products, tools, and services will find us through the AI-driven marketing campaigns that the company is going to be running for us for that one-time subscription. So we will only start earning if you have shared this opportunity with a few other people during our soft launch or before our soft launch, then you have a chance of earning a bonus. That's just a one-time bonus from our CEO that said thank you. But once we launch, the official launch, which will be a few months after our soft launch, that is where we will start earning our residual income. I'm not sure if I covered everything. I tend to to go off on a tangent. Is there any other questions, David?
No
David?
other question, because I understood everything, every explanation, everything that all the speakers have, said, because I am an online man. I do my businesses online, and I also have an educational firm. And I believe that this platform is going to help me a lot to get me what I really wanted. So I'm one of the foundation members. I've registered, but I've not paid my $97. I registered and I forgot about it. It was one, I think, Richard that, brought my notice to it and told me, you registered and you didn't continue, you just forgot about it. That now brought it back to me when I remember that I have registered already, and I never knew that all these wonderful opportunities are there for me.
Great. Thank you, David. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Port Harcourt, Nigeria.
And David, you just brought a point that I just want to plead with the founders. When you bring somebody in, take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Walk them through the back office. Let them know how big a deal they're into, okay? Because David did not know, and I'm pretty sure David is not the only one, okay? So let's take it upon ourselves. This person has decided to join your team, okay? It's beneficial to them, it's beneficial to you, but just show them how big a deal this is. Let them know, let them get involved, get connected, please. Thank you. That's all.
Just, this is really big.
Yes.
It's really big. Really, really, really big.
It is.
Thank you.
You get it,
Thanks,
David.
David.
You've connected
I've got
the
a couple.
dots.
I've got a couple of.
Can I just add?
Yeah, go
Sorry,
on.
Ray.
Sorry.
That David, a lot of people, it takes a little while for us to get that light bulb moment. I have to admit, it took me 4 months, but there are 650,000 of us founders at the moment, and the expectation for the first year is to take on 100 million customers. So that's 650,000 of us founders is 0.65% of the first year's customer base. And Mike mentioned that the total customer or potential customer base we've got is 4.6 billion, and that 100 million is less than 2% of the marketplace. So this is just not big, it's massive. Thanks, David.
It's massive. Yes, it's massive. It's the bomb.
Well, thank you, David, and welcome on board. We're going to go to Swati Patel, if you want to unmute yourself, and I'm going to bring in Uziam.
And we'll take one off the Q&A after that.
Okay, Swati Patel. Okay, Red, you want to do a Q&A?
Yeah,
Question?
okay, we've got, this is from Donald K. He's got 2 questions, but we can marry them together. Do you choose the products you sell, or every time a product has a sale, do we get a percentage? So we'll take that question first, and his next one. Anybody want to answer that on the panel? If not, I will. Okay, I'll take it then. The automatic traffic that we get, that is what we're actually paying the company to do, to drive traffic to our own business. This is on a rotator basis, and they will be targeting all of the products and services to all of the customers out there. So they won't specifically target one product at a time. All the time is going to be all of the products, okay? And this is what is going to happen. One customer is going to pick up one product, they'll sign up underneath you. Another customer is going to take another product, they'll sign up under you, because the rotator and the automated traffic is going to be working in the background just for all of us here. And you will also make a percentage of every single one of those sales because they drop into your team, and that's what you get your commissions for. And this is what makes it a residual income. And his last question was, from how long after registration can you expect to start to get a reward? Now, that's a very good question. And like Mike Ellis said, and Charles has said as well, we are in the pre-launch stage now, and we are looking for founders to join us on our journey. And part of being a founder means we have got the ability and opportunity to build a team before we release to the world. If you have people in your team, as Mike Ellis says, okay, as soon as we launch, we all become resellers of the IT products within Onpassive ecosystem, and they are then going to earn commissions. So from day one, if you have a team, you're off to the winners. You're out the stalls, you're racing down the track, and we are all earning money. If you start with just yourself and zero in your team, it's going to take you a couple of weeks and maybe a month before you start making any residual income. So there is good reasons to start sharing this opportunity with people whilst we have the ability and time to do it. Thank you very much. Over to you, Susie.
Okay, we have Uzi Sapir. Are you a current founder? Because the Q&A is for guests today. So if is your question about because you're a current founder,
I'm
correct?
a founder.
Yes.
I'm a founder for the last 3 months.
Okay. What is your question? We'll determine if we can answer it or we can take it off of this
I hope
webinar.
you can answer it.
Okay.
I would like to have a clue about the upcoming soft launch.
Okay.
Okay, Charles.
Because
this is a guest.
Because Mike Ellis just talked about it.
Yeah.
The first thing is that's a founders only question. Founders meaning number two.
Yeah, he left anyway, Charles.
But it's probably once somebody asks something, we need to say something because of the rest of the people, right? And that's why we'll try not to take them at all. Yeah. Mike Ellis just addressed the issue of soft launch. I remember him raising his hand and said, let me just say this because everybody wants to know. And then a founder is going to come up and ask the same question. That's why I was laughing, that's all.
Okay, well, let's keep going. We have George's Nagali. You're on if you want to unmute yourself, and I'm going to bring Chuck in as a panelist too, if you have a question. And then we have one more, Maria Matos. I'm bringing you all in. So, George, Chuck, or Maria, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask a question. Other than that, we have no other hands raised at this time.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, there we go, Chuck.
Yes, this is Chuck.
Okay,
thanks for having me. My question is this a pyramid system?
Okay, who would like to answer that?
I'll take that.
Okay, Charles?
I take it because I love the question. And usually I like to make this a discussion. Chuck, first of all, I want to answer your question, but I need to understand what your mindset, what's your definition of pyramid? Because, and the reason I ask, people say with different reasons or different meaning, actually. What do you mean by pyramid?
Pyramid system is now at law in USA. It's a system whereby people do business in chains like this, like a passive versus unpassive. So it's been at law in the USA. So I just want to make sure that we are not getting into the pyramid system where people have chains of businesses, where you have, most of them have been at law in the US. I don't know if you're aware of it.
When you say chain of businesses, like we have McDonald's, that's a chain of businesses.
Chain of business is this type where you bring somebody in the business and you pay the person. The person receives a percentage.
Okay.
of money.
Are you familiar with Medicaid?
Medicaid, that's correct.
So has it been outlawed?
Not really. I don't think so.
Okay. Are
But
you
they had
familiar? Are you familiar with Avon?
Avon. Yeah, I do.
Have they been outlawed?
Not really.
Okay. So why haven't they been outlawed?
I don't understand. I don't know.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure that we're not getting into this the system that's been outlawed in the US. Since this is
I think you're a bit confused. Let me help you out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you are calling multi-level marketing pyramid. I think that's what you're doing. And first and foremost, just for everybody else, it's a very, very legitimate, great system. Works very well and has not been outlawed. Okay.
Good.
Unfortunately, most of us human beings, we don't know how to recruit, right? Meaning that when we tell you to go tell somebody, that's a big problem, right? And that problem Onpassive has solved. Okay. So Onpassive is the correction to the corruption. It's a solution to all the problems of people who cannot recruit, about 98% of us, right? Because why? Because we have artificial intelligence that is going to recruit for you and I. And we call it Onpassive because you can be passive. That means people like you, right, who don't like to talk to other people, you can just come in. You're going to pay twice. The first time you become a founder, $97. And the next time when we launch, you pay for the product one time. And guess what? One of the products is that traffic. Okay, that traffic is going to go out and work for you and I, right? And even the federal government, the US government is going to be a customer of Onpassive. So how can they outlaw something that they want to use, right? Okay, so it is not one of those that you're thinking. It is a very legitimate business.
Thank you.
With legitimate products and services.
Yeah, you answered my question, Mr. Charles. You've done that. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Right.
Thank you, Chuck, for your question. We have George, you're on if you want to unmute yourself.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you. I'm calling from France. And my question, yes, I'm calling from France, but my English is not very excellent. So I have to ask my question to Charles in French. Excuse me. So my question is simple. I want to know exactly the planning of the deployment of the software. Je veux tout simplement savoir quand est-ce que le déploiement des applications Onpassive va commencer. Est-ce qu'on peut avoir un planning du déploiement et comment ça va se passer?
Georges, merci pour la question. Est-ce que tu es déjà fondateur?
Oui, bien sûr. Bien sûr.
Bon, ça c'est
en fait, j'ai posé la question. J'ai posé la question sur le chat tout à l'heure, sur les questions-réponses, mais en disant que j'étais fondateur et que voilà, donc voilà, pour me présenter. Donc en fait, je suis fondateur. Et, comment?
Depuis combien de temps tu es fondateur?
Ça fait au moins 1 mois ou 2.
Ok, parce que nous avons un groupe Telegram pour les fondateurs, n'est-ce pas? Et chaque lundi, bon, ça veut dire hier, on avait une réunion pour les fondateurs, qu'on donne le résumé, on explique le processus de lancement. Et puis, il y a aussi samedi, on a quelque chose qu'on appelle onboarding. Mais, tout simplement, en principe, le soft launch va commencer dans quelques semaines. Dans quelques semaines, on est dans le soft launch. Et le soft launch va prendre, en disant, à peu près 3 à 4 mois, parce que c'est le période là où on teste les produits, quoi. Donc, les produits sont en train de se lancer et nous, les fondateurs, nous allons tester le produit pendant peut-être 3 à 4 mois et puis après, on va aller directement dans le lancement public. OK? Mais normalement, ça, c'est un webinaire des invités. Il faut t'engager dans un groupe dans un de nos groupes Telegram. Comme ça, on peut t'expliquer tout ce qui se passe.
Bon, oui, mais moi je suis IT de formation, donc et puis j'ai fait de
C'est bien,
l'intelligence
moi aussi, je suis IT
artificielle.
de formation.
Oui, 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 non, mais c'était pour clarifier un peu le truc. Donc moi du moins j'ai reçu une invitation là aujourd'hui, c'est pour ça que j'ai participé en anglais pour éventuellement améliorer mon anglais. Donc, ok, très bien. S'il y a c'est pour ça que ma question était sur un peu plus technique. Tu as répondu à la question sur la partie, on va dire, sur la partie de déploiement d'application. Donc, si tu dis qu'il y a un lunch et puis il y a un test par rapport au programme, très bien. Donc, et que ce soit, c'est les fondateurs qui vont tester le logiciel, qui vont tester les applications. C'est bien ça que j'ai compris.
Bien sûr.
D'accord. OK. Très bien. Merci.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
You.
Hey, before we just go on any further, if anybody is on the panel and they are an existing founder, please keep your question for Mondays. Okay, if you've just joined and you've only been in a couple of weeks, that's absolutely fine. This is a guest webinar and we want to hear from the guests. If you're an existing founder, please wait for Mondays.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Thank you, George. I'm waiting for Mike Ellis to translate all of that into English. I'm just teasing.
Actually,
Okay.
I was about ready to do that,
I
Susie,
know,
but we'll save that for another time.
I saw that mind go and I'm like, oh, he knows French. Anyway.
We don't want to translate it because it's a founder type question and I was telling him to come to.
Okay, got you. Okay. So we have Maria next. You're unmuted, Maria. If you have a question, please ask it. If not, we'll go to Andres. Maria?
Go to Andre because I am a founder, so.
Okay.
I'll wait till Monday. Thank you so much.
You can reach out to one of us or come on Mondays. Okay, thank you for doing that. Andres?
Yes, hello. I'm calling from Iceland and I'm founder too. So I don't know.
How long have you been a founder?
I've been founder in 2 weeks, not more. But I have a specific question.
Okay, we'll listen to the question and then if it's something for another webinar, we'll let you know, okay?
Yes, okay. Question is, I have a man, he wants to become founder. And then question from him is, can I pay more? Not $97, maybe $250. Yes. So I don't know what to answer him.
Yes.
So I lost.
Andy has the answer to that.
I do too. Yeah.
No, he's working out because we are.
Everyone has that answer.
Yeah, like many of the guys on the panel here, Andres, the answer to the question is that we got the light bulb moment. We think this $97 is far too inexpensive for what we're getting. But what we have done is we have purchased multiple positions. So each position forms another stream of income, if you like. So we get this at the end of the day. If your friend wants to buy 5 positions, it's 5 times $97. In which case, what he's done is he's automatically built 3 beneath him and 5 within his team, if you like. But each of those individual positions becomes another form of income, another stream of income, because as Onpassive adds 3 customers to each of those positions, then they each become free of cost.
I see. Okay. So that's it, because I lost yesterday my Slovenian group and I can't answer this question. So I think it's all.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us and for your question. Okay,
Thank you.
we have someone up here named Teacher. If you'd like to unmute yourself, Teacher, and tell us who you are, and maybe we can see you. Do you have a question, Teacher?
You can teach us if you want, man.
No.
Oh, here we go. The teacher's coming on the screen now.
I can't teach you guys anything. I just have one question. I just became a founder yesterday.
Oh, welcome.
Congratulations.
Good for you.
And my question is, I've been listening to your teachings on the $250. Do I need to wait until you launch to pay the $250? You can't do it earlier. Just
Right.
wait.
You can't wait, or what?
Okay.
Is the money itching you? Do you have it in your pocket and it's itchy?
Well, when you have the money, you better do something with it because somebody's going to get it one way or the other.
I hope that person is not me. I wouldn't mind getting it, but
you know, I was just wondering if, you know, you get started early, that's just one step. So I have a t-shirt business that I've tried to, well, I've launched it actually. And it's for the schools, the school district, my elementary school for Christian education. And I was just wondering if I, you know, paid the $250 now, that whenever you launch, that everybody would know about it, and then I could get involved with the 662,000 constituents that you have already. I'm just trying to get ahead of the game. You know, I don't want to be at the end of the line. So, but you've answered my question. You've said I have to wait until you launch, and then.
Yeah. And teacher, by the way, you're at the front of the line, okay? Nobody's any farther ahead. When it goes to hard launch, you pay just like everybody else. You won't be behind anybody. So you're okay.
Okay. All righty. Thanks.
Okay. Well, welcome. Okay, next we have David, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question.
All right, this is David from Nigeria again. I just had somebody ask question, and one of the founders answered by saying that one can have multiple accounts. How do you do that?
Who would like to answer that?
I'll take it if you like.
Andy, take it. Andy, go ahead and take it.
Marina,
That's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Go on, Andy.
Go ahead, Marina.
No, Maria.
I forgot the question. Multiple accounts. Yes. You can have as many accounts as you can afford, and bear in mind that every account you have has to have a different email address, because that is your unique identifier. So if you decide you're wanting to buy several accounts for your family and friends or charities, what have you, just make sure that you have a different email account. You can have the same name on each account, different email. And also bear in mind that you will have to fund each account at launch. So you'll have a few months to save that money up. But if you're in a position, there are people with 350 accounts, 200 accounts, 50, 10, you know. So whatever you can afford, obviously the more accounts you have, the more streams of income you'll be getting in as well. So it's entirely up to you how you want to go about that. And then you would just register them under you would register yourself, and then you would use your registration link to sign up those other accounts. So whoever invited you to the business, you sign up with them. And then once you've paid and registered, signed your NDA, you'll get access to the back office, and that is where you'll be able to get your own personal registration link that you can send out to others, or you would use that same registration link to sign your other accounts up under that. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Thanks,
Thank you.
David.
Thank you, David. Next we have Brandon, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Hi there, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely to see you guys. Awesome. Give yourselves a pat on
We
the back.
can't see you, Brandon.
All right, you want to see me? Here goes.
Brandon, I cannot reach my back for some reason. I have to give myself a pat on my chest.
Well, you got to try. If you've got such a good
this,
team,
not
I'm
like
sure
that.
you can.
Okay, go ahead.
Ask your team to help you. Okay, just one thing I wanted to ask. Once you set up, right, and you have your team under you, okay, and is there consistency in the payment of every month, or how does that work? Is it a once-off payment?
This is my prospect, so I'll like to take it, and then you guys can fill in afterwards. How's it, Brandon? Right, so once you get paid, so what happens is once we launch, or right now, so you've registered but you haven't paid yet. So once you pay, you will get your registration link, and then you said that you've already got a few people lined up. Those will be customers under you going forward.
Yes.
So once you've got 3, pretty much your subscription is covered and you'll be in pure profit. But you have to pay the one-time $250 at launch. So that will great. I think in the beginning, we'll have an influx of customers coming in under us, and we'll have a spike in earnings. But remember that once you've got a customer, it's a customer for life, because they go, so that will gradually grow, and then eventually it's sort of level out, but it will just go on and on and on. And that's why this is hereditary and transferable for generations to come.
Awesome.
Let me add a little bit to that, Brandon. You do have a monthly payment, but it comes out of your profits. First payment you make, and after that it comes out of the profits depending on who falls under you. When you start getting customers, the profits will pay the next month. You have a monthly payment every month, but the beauty of it is it comes out of your profits. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes. But obviously the profits are consistent.
No, growing.
Just growing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought it maybe consistent. I want growing.
No, absolutely. I just thought it was maybe a month to month, and not growing. So it felt like you may have to put input every single month to keep it growing.
If you get to the second month and you don't have enough to make your payment, you pause until there is enough.
Okay.
You don't lose anything, and as the money comes up, it'll go. But this company, and you get in now, I don't think you're going to be pausing ever.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
The other one of the most genius things about the way Ash has set this up is that as it takes on customers, so let's say you've got a guy with a small business. He sets up a domain name, which is done automatically, and they start driving traffic to his website, not on our Onpassive website, but his specific website. And as Onpassive takes on customers, they fall in his group because they form part of his group, but he doesn't get any commission at the moment. And in the back office, there's 2 wallets, one that says a virtual wallet, which is what happens when the commissions come in. And once you've covered your monthly, it then goes into your wallet, the O wallet. They then have this virtual wallet that says, by the way, look what you would have won if you'd have become a reseller. If you want to become a reseller and start making some money, click this button. And now how genius is that? So automatically, all of these companies come on board, they automatically become customers, and they're then interested in getting more and more customers on board. It's just genius.
Awesome. Great. Thank you very much. That answers my question.
Okay. Thank you, Brandon.
Lovely. Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank
Pleasure.
you. Jump on board. Okay. Next, we have Richard, you have your hand up and you're a panelist. If you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question, Richard.
Hi, good evening.
We're having a hard time hearing you. Can you speak up just a little bit more?
Okay. I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. My question is, after lunch, if we get the mail set up, that presume every user is going to get an email address. Is it possible they are going to allow us to use our email address to replace our Gmails, Yahoos, and Hotmails?
Who would like to answer that?
I'll answer it. Yes, of course. I'm going to replace all my Gmail with the company email.
Yeah, Marty, the only thing I would add to that is the email that you use to sign up with, if it's a Gmail account, you're probably not going to be able to replace that unless you go through support and you want to put it in an OMail account. But that's a lot of work. For me, I wouldn't do that.
No, I was talking more like using it for everyday use. I would change
absolutely.
over to,
Absolutely.
Okay, Richard?
Sorry, can you just bring Andy back on? He got thrown off accidentally. He's back in the attendees. Thanks.
Did that answer it, Richard?
Yeah, because if they are saying that OMail is going to be more efficient and is going to be more security is going to be better, why is it not they're not going to encourage us to use the OMail to replace maybe a Yahoo or a Hotmail or a Gmail? That's what I want to know.
I think people will see how good it is. You won't have to encourage them. They're just going to do it.
Okay. Right.
We're certainly going to have a better O Connect than we have Zoom, that's for sure. But it keeps throwing you out.
Are you a founder, Richard?
Yeah, I have multiple accounts.
Oh, okay.
I have about 10 accounts. Yeah.
Okay. This Q&A is for our guests. So we have the founder Q&A on Mondays where more in-depth questions we cover. But thank you. Okay. Okay. Anything in the Q&A? I don't see red anymore, but we don't have any more. Oh, wait, one more. Let's see. Nope, everyone's hand is down.
All right, that's great. So,
which wonderful.
Yes, this is good timing, right?
Yeah,
there is a message from Donald, a question from Donald. Okay. Stepwise, what are the steps, please? When I become a founder, I just have to wait for the launch, or is there things I have to do? Also, should I have something to do besides advertising on Passive, like actively selling online, or the IT will do everything for me? I'll take that, Donald. Everything that's why it's called Onpassive. You can be passive or active. It's up to you. But once the AI-driven marketing campaigns kick in, you will never humanly it won't be humanly possible for you to keep up with that. So whatever efforts we make now is always a good thing going forward. So we're just building our foundation. That's why we're sharing this opportunity with others. But once it launches, the way you'll be sharing the opportunities by using the products like the O Connect, for example, you send it to your colleagues, your friend, or your family members, they will all get a 7-day free trial, which they can sign up under you without you actually selling anything. That's how you would share. But it's up to you. If you want to pay extra marketing, you can, it's your business. So you run it how you want, but Onpassive will build your business for you, and everyone is forced to succeed. Thanks.
All right. Well, with those wonderful words, everyone's forced to succeed. I guess, Charles, if you want to wrap up the webinar, and thank you, everyone. I do have one more hand up. Do we have time?
Yes, go ahead. Go.
Matanj, I'm bringing you on as a panelist. If you'd like to unmute yourself. Yep, your hand's up. Unmute yourself. Mtanji. If you could unmute yourself.
Yes, I just did. Hi, Charles. Okay. The question is directly to Charles. Charles, I'm a Cameroonian, and I want to believe that somehow my sister who introduced me to this is your downline. So I was just wondering if it's okay for once I sign up on Friday, if we can connect somehow, because I've done marketing before, and I just wanted to touch base on a one-to-one basis.
Okay, you haven't signed up yet, right?
I'm doing it on Friday.
Okay, once you do it, because I only talk to founders.
No, that's okay. I understand that. So I just want to make sure that I can get a yes for a direct communication. That's it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right. I think we are. Oh, there's a hand up again. Jean Robinson. Susie, you're muted.
Okay, sorry, Jean, I'm bringing you on. If you want to unmute yourself, Jean, and ask your question.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to know, what is the percentage when you get customers, Well, how much percentage would you make?
Jane, let me take that question. That's an interesting one. What kind of percentage would you like to make?
As much as I can.
Now, what would be satisfactory to you?
What would be satisfactory to me?
Okay, so let me put it this way. Okay, you're gonna pay twice out of pocket. Okay, the first time $97. Next time about $250. So let's say $350 thereabout out of pocket. Okay, and then you're gonna get paid for life. So what would be a satisfactory amount of money for you to get paid for life after having spent $350?
What would I like to be paid each month?
Yes, let's just say monthly, every month, for the rest of your life. And then you can transfer.
Okay, I would say about maybe 5,000, 6,000.
Every month? Realistically, you spend $350 in a business. You want to get paid $5,000 every month for the rest of your life. Does such a business exist?
Well, that's the start. That's my starting.
That's what I'm saying. Does a business like that exist to start? I would jump. I would not be here by now if it existed. Where I could go in, pay $350, and every month I get $5,000 for the rest of my life, and transferable to my kids. Truly, you know of a business like that, right?
Oh, you got business to make more than that, yeah.
Oh, well, please introduce me. I'd like to know about those. Because I haven't seen it, right?
Okay.
But yeah, but with Onpassive, if you, with time, I can tell you that with time, right? You'll be able to make that kind of money, right? But what you just said, I haven't seen it. So please call me after this. Let me know what that business is.
But you asked me a question, so I just gave you my answer. I asked you straight ahead.
I'm interested. I love your answer. I want to know the business. Yeah.
I just want you to get to the point, please.
Do you mind if I say something here, Charles?
Yes, go ahead.
That was not necessary because I'm just getting off the line. I don't like that. I didn't appreciate that.
Jean, can you hear me?
Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. I'm going. Bye. Goodbye. I didn't appreciate that.
Okay, we have one more person. Andres coming in. Andres, if you want to unmute yourself. We can't hear you, Andres.
I see. Sorry. Yeah. Look, I have very different question.
Okay, you're freezing up. I think he just got booted out. Okay, I think that's it, you guys. Charles, if you want to wrap it up.
Our next guest webinar is Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll wait to hear from the CEO if we're going to have a meeting prior to that. Otherwise, we'll see you all on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your week. The link will be in your back office at the webinar tab, as well as in the leaders. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
We're in it to win it. Good night.
I didn't go to the bathroom.